Yeah. So we came up with an example. We wanted to talk about an example that would apply to people in business, people out of, anyone. But we're real estate people. So
we're gonna talk about investment properties. So and we're doing it real quick, and then we're gonna do a follow up video with more details on this stuff. So
what's the way out there goal that we determined we wanted to achieve?
Say we're going with 10 years out.
Okay.
It was to own 3 cash flowing rental properties.
Yep.
And then you would say, okay, so what is the one thing that I could have accomplished in 5 years that would make everything else easier or unnecessary to reach that goal?
Yep. And we came up with, what do we have here?
We said $30,000 a year in disposable income. So in 5 years,
we're gonna break the fourth wall. We're actually reading off a piece of paper that we hid behind this computer to make it look good, but it's in Jeff's handwriting. And
that's why you couldn't read it. If we were just glancing at this screen,
I'd be able
we wouldn't have had to look at it.
So I'm just gonna watch
Jeff
talk.
It's pretty bad. I don't know if you can see that. It's pretty bad.
Right.
So in the 5 year goal that would make everything else easier or unnecessary to having 3 income properties would be to have $30,000 a year in disposable income. I think most people will start out saying, well, I think if in 5 years or in 3 years I had one property, another 3 years I had another property, but that honestly wouldn't get them to the goal the fastest way. So 5 years, $30,000 in disposable income. The 3 year goal then would be, what is the one thing I can do to make everything else easier or unnecessary?
I remember this.
To have $30,000 in disposable income in 5 years.
No consumer debt was our example.
Yep.
If you're carrying a lot of consumer debt, you could eliminate that. That would free up disposable income.
Yep. So in 3 years, the goal would be to eliminate all debt, all consumer debt. So then, what could you do in 1 year? What's the one thing you could accomplish in 1 year that would make everything else easier or unnecessary to having no consumer debt in 3 years? Then that was increase your income by $1,000 a year. $1,000 a month. Sorry. Yeah. So it'd be $12,000 a year. You're increasing your income. Now, I think a lot of people would say, well, I'm going to start cutting this out now. I'm going to start cutting this out, rice and beans, that kind of stuff, which is fine. But is that going to be your one thing? Like the biggest, either you're going to cut from what you're spending or you're going to make more money. In this case, we decided I'm going to make $12,000 more a year. That will help me pay off my debt faster, and that helped me reach that goal in 3 years. That's the one thing that would make everything else easier or unnecessary.
But if your household income is $60,000, you can't get $30,000 out of $60,000 very easily. You can get $30,000 out of $80,000 much more easily.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where we are saying, okay, let's hit it from both angles.
So then your 1 year goal. So in 1 year, you want to increase $1,000 a month in income. What's the one thing you can do then in 6 months to hit that 1 year goal?
I know. You could get a promotion at work.
Yes.
Yes, you could.
Well done, Dan.
Thank you.
You didn't have to read it.
Nope. I remember.
So
Steel trap.
yes. Well, yeah. So it was get promoted. And
We'll really step into it.
I'm still trying to read my writing.
I've
thought
got
I
you.
had something else.
I've got you from here. Where do we go from there?
All right, so we're on 1 month now. What's the one thing you can do in 1 month that will make everything else easier or unnecessary to get to your 6 month goal, which is to have that promotion?
Yeah, so that could be professional development, whatever it is that's needed for you to be able to promote to that next level. So professional development, taking some classes, maybe taking some additional trainings at work, whatever that looks like.
Yep. So then 1 week. Sometimes I think people stop a lot of times at 1 year. But remember, 1 year was increase income by 1,000. Like that's a vague enough goal where you're never going to hit it. Now you've already got down to down to get promoted, then to
That's professional development. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the reality is also if you have 365 days to accomplish something, you're going to wait till day 360 to start thinking about it in most cases.
Yep.
So
1 week, what can you do?
1 week, meet with your boss and figure out what that professional development would look like.
So then today, what can you do to make sure that 1 week goal happens?
Schedule the appointment with your boss.
Yeah.
So we just went from a 10-year goal of owning 3 cash flowing rental properties to today, I need to go sit down with my boss and say, what can I do to develop professionally so that I can earn a promotion at work?
You know what this has made me realize?
That you need to talk to your boss about a promotion.
We need to do this more often.
Yeah.
Because we do this. No one said we do this. We
Do.
We do this, but we don't do it enough, I think.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty crazy. So it was broken down from 3 cash flowing properties 10 years down the road to today I'm going to call my boss and set up an appointment.
And that may seem like an oversimplification, and maybe it is in your situation, or maybe it's perfectly realistic. We threw this together pretty quickly, and the reality is it oftentimes is just that simple. We overcomplicate things by looking so far out and going, well, that's just not attainable. But I promise you, there's someone who doesn't have the same talents as you who's accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. So you can't do.
I agree.
They
So
probably had a plan written on a piece of paper.
we're gonna break this down more into how you can do it in the next video. So if you click the link up there, you can get more details on how to find the 10-year, 5-year, and all that kind of stuff. Because there's a lot that goes into it, but we wanted to keep this semi-short.
When will that link appear? Next week?
No, we're gonna do it right now after this video.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.